Joseph, favored son of Israel.
The road to Emmaus. On the third day after Jesus' crucifixion, 2 of his disciples were going to the village of Emmaus. While they walked and questioned each other, Jesus himself came near and walked with them, but their eyes were kept from recognizing him.
What are we going to do now?
I thought he was the one. Why are you walking and talking so sadly?
Don't you know the things that have happened recently in Jerusalem?
What things? The things concerning the prophet, Jesus the Nazarene. The priests and our rulers crucified him.
But we were hoping that he would redeem Israel.
And now it is the 3rd day since these things happened.
Also, some of the women from our group said that he was alive.
Foolish people. Didn't the prophets write that the Son of Man had to suffer these things in order to enter into his glory? Beginning from the law and the prophets, he explained to them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. This is just one of the stories Jesus could have told. Consider the story of Joseph!
Greetings, Bible nerds! It is I, Artsy Bible Nerd. In our last episode, we introduced this image with Jesus in the foreground and Old Testament panels in the background. So, yeah, I don't have a cute lead-in. I don't have a clever lead-in for this, but this is the work that I've done so far. I've done most of the work on I still have his right shoulder, and I'm going to look over his torso and do what needs to be done there. But as you can see, he has a face, he has teeth, and this is a different style than I'm used to drawing in. He has a shoulder. Very happy with that shoulder. So this other shoulder is, I don't know, 2-dimensional, not even dimensional. So progress is being made. If we only look over here, it's much more impressive than looking over here. So, also did some wood grain on that patibellum. That's what you call the crossbar of the cross on the crucifixion. So yeah, this is how far it's come, how far it's going. I've got some things to do so far. This is Joshua. Joshua needs a face. He's yelling, and the building is crumbling behind him. There are priests with horns. I think I have to change those horns. I don't have to go with the same old horns. I'm going to have to do some research on shofar, what a shofar looks like. So there you go. And there's Jesus' head. So, when last we left Joseph on page 13, he was seated with all of his male members of his family at the fire. He had been given the blessing of Israel to go ahead and talk. And as we come back to Joseph, he is about to explain his dream, the dream of the sun, moon, and stars. So that's where we have left off, and that's where we will continue. So without any further ado, let us continue with Joseph, favored son of Israel. So I'm going to put 5 faces here. So I am streaming tonight at 9 o'clock. Our family schedule is changing for this month. I have good news. Good news is I talked to the company who says that they want to hire me, and I said, how's it going? What's the progress? What's the dealio? And I said it more professionally than that, in case you're wondering. So they said, oh, yeah, there's a snag, there's a snafu, but let's get you clocked in here. And so, long story short, I am being paid for last Friday. Am I saying that right? It's the last 2 Fridays ago, and all of last week, and this week as well. And I'm not having to show up, but getting paid. That is what you call passive income, people. That is what you call. How else can I? Where else can I sign for that? Can I get paid for doing nothing at other companies? If I'm doing nothing, I can work for many companies. All right, I don't need 5 heads. Just because there's 5 heads before doesn't mean there has to be 5 heads this time. But I do like that line going down, descending down the hill. Let's deselect, select, deselect. Okay, and let's draw some. We've got a robe here. That's the wrong tool. You can't draw with the move tool. The move tool does nothing but move things. Apparently, I already drew this, but now I need more reference. I need Rihanna is a first-time streamer, first-time chatter. Hello. One of my most favorite stories in the book of Genesis. Excellent. I'm glad you think that way. Pleased to meet you. Your name looks familiar. I don't remember where I've seen you before. Or am I... Oh, yes, I remember now. You are a follower, aren't you? You do follow me. Are you a friend of Sister Zena, I think? Just finished reading my Bible, having some oatmeal. How are you? Awesome. It's me, the E, is here. Greetings, it's me, the E. Let me put on some grunge for you. Good to have you here. Yes, it never gets old. It'll never get old. Every time you come here, I'm going to mention something about grunge. Not familiar. Okay. How did you find the stream, Rihanna? I've made that clip. I laughed so loudly during that grunge conversation. I made a clip out of it. It will now last in memoriam. Ukulele worship, or flat cap dapper pastor, quiz king, hybrid, I believe from Christian streamers too. Okay, awesome, sweet. We got a lot of connections. I have been to Quiz King once, I think, but I have not been there. Maybe we'll have to raid him. We'll have to see if he's able to be raided tonight. All right. Let's give Israel his holy stick to hold on to. I don't like that arm position. I'm going to change the arm position. These are like actors. You have to pose these people like actors. How would they stand if they're saying what they're saying? How would you stand if you're saying what you're saying? I think his elbow would be out here a little bit more. I didn't know you made a clip of that. Let's see, what gadget you use for digital art? I am using the iPad Pro and an iPencil, and you can tell when I magnetize them together and click them together, it says Apple Pencil. The software I'm using is Clip Studio Art, not Pro. I don't think I can afford Pro. Here's the wrist. Here's the... let's get rid of the inking lines. And here's your stick. Hold on to that stick, because you got a bad hip from wrestling the angel of God. My hip. Let's see. In the Philippines, I'm from the Philippines, by the way. It's, wow, 9:14 a.m. here. Awesome. I'm glad you got your Bible reading in early in the morning, like it should be done. Not that it's a crime not to do it in the evening or something. Rihanna says hello to It's Me to E. You too can draw well, Rihanna. If you just, the key to mastering anything, they say, is putting in 10,000 hours worth of experience. So all you have to do is put in 10,000 hours. I don't know if you already have a day job, but that's why people go to school. That's why people go to become full-time students, in order to learn how to draw. Because where else are you going to get the time to put in those hours? But there's also YouTube tutorials. Everybody is on an art journey. some people don't bother to go on the journey, but the journey is available to anyone who wants to try to draw. So right now I'm just sketching in. This is like a map for So Rihanna, what part of the Bible did you read this morning? Let's see. Wow. Catching up on chat. 10,000 hours. I'll take I'll take note of that. Yeah, if you want to become an expert on anything, you have to choose what you want to become an expert on and put in the hours. So, what, do you have any hobbies, Rihanna? I was telling Ann, I'm just going to call you Andy. The first two, and it's me, the E, is going to be Andy. Kulurian 331. Hello, how are you? How's it going? Thank you for stopping by. So, is your name French? Is that a French word? Coulurien? Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah. What does it mean? I took 5 years of French and I'm really terrible. When I speak French to French people, they go, "What?" My daughter has a friend who went to France on exchange as an exchange student, and she says everybody there speaks English to her. Because they just want to practice their English. Ooh, wow, you're an American? Let me practice my English. Oh, I love watching people do art. My name is actually Lord of the Rings, Elvish. But good guess. Oh, Elvish. It's not French at all. That's why I don't recognize it. I must be awesome at French then. I don't recognize the word. I have never taken Elvish. Thank you very much. Oh. No, I said Elvish, not Elvis. Oh. Rihanna says, I remember back then I was studying how to play guitar. Oh, cool. It took me all day trying to figure out how much to switch from one hand to... Yep, I remember that. My fingers turned violet, but at least I learned. Yes, you did it. It takes the time. Are you a guitar streamer? You can't microwave experience. You can't fake experience. So I taught my daughter the C chord on guitar, and I think the D chord and some other chords. But then she found YouTube, and I've not taught her anything since then. All she does is strum and strum and strum. And now she's going to be a music teacher. So I should tell her, you learned all your music from YouTube. You should just tell your students to just go to YouTube. It does make life easier. Learning stuff. Before YouTube, I used to have to go to a library. I used to have to buy a book. So there's a story about Paul McCartney, the Beatle, Paul McCartney, the famous one. He, in order to learn the E7 chord, he got on a bus to see some guy across town. He showed him the chord. Then he got back on the bus to ride back home, and then he, practiced the chord. Didn't he? Not even a library, not even a bookstore, not even. He got on a bus. Today, all the information we want is in our back pocket, our left hand. Thank you, Nightbot. Don't forget to follow and or subscribe so you don't miss a stream. Subscribers will have a chance to get emotes. I have freshly made, uploaded emotes. You may notice that there are no free emotes available because I don't have that many subscribers yet. Twitch does not allow me to have free emotes until I have 15 subscribers. So I currently have 3 subscribers. All right, let's make some black lines on this hand. Don't like that. All right. YouTube and podcasts are where I get my information now instead of books. All right, here's the hard part. Hands are the hard part. They're always the hard part. Here's the pinky. We're going to start with that one first. Let's divide that in half, and then in quarters. Let's give it some depth. No, I'm not using Photoshop. This is Clip Studio Paint. I like the control of the brush. The brush is better on Clip Studio than in Photoshop. I have tried drawing using Photoshop. Also, I can't say enough about the iPad Pro. It is fantastic. I used to have a PC. It was a low-end PC. It was not enough hardware for graphics. And the drawing tablet I had back then was a Huion. Nothing against Huion. There are people who love their Huion tablet, but I, on the other hand, was not able to get it to work. I don't want that finger to be longer. I want this one to be the longest finger. But with the iPad Pro, I thought I would need a drawing glove, like one of those gloves that you wear so your skin doesn't touch the screen, and so you don't make marks that you're not supposed to on the screen. I'm not using a drawing glove. The screen is not that sensitive that I need to use a drawing glove. But it is, it's everything you want it to be. It's just as responsive as you need it to be. But not too responsive. I think that thumb is too big. Let's erase the thumb. I think that eraser is too big. used a tutorial and was impressed with how it came out. Recently made my own panels on Illustrator. Oh, okay. I am not a... Some people swear by Illustrator. I am not a very good user of Illustrator. Good for you. I'm glad that you like Illustrator. I'm glad you're impressed with how that came out. All right, enjoy your lurking, Rihanna. Got to clean and organize the room before school meeting. Get that working done. Clean that room. Clean that room. Clean it. Clean it. Clean that room. All right, I think that'll do it for that hand. Nope, change my mind. Change my mind. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to encourage. Encouragement is one of the things I'm here for. Now, the hand is too big. I'm never happy. Let's enlarge the hand. The hand has to be big enough that it can cover the face. If you believe the hand could cover the face, then that is a big enough hand. Now we got to make the arm. All right, now let's have some depth, shall we? Depth. Let's make this smaller. Undo. Smaller brush size. Thank you very much. Number 12. All right, he's turned the other way from the fire this time. I think he should have some teeth. What do you say? Bottom teeth. The bottom teeth are the ones that are going to show. The top teeth are hardly going to show at this angle. Got to have accurate teeth because you don't know how many dentists are going to be looking at the book, criticizing. Counting teeth as they read this book. I can't read this book. He doesn't even know how to write teeth. How can I expect that everything else about it is right? Incisors. Go in front. Bicuspid. Cuspid. No, that's wrong. As long as I know what they look like. Being able to say what they are is not as important as being able to draw what they are. All right, let's give some more depth on this side of the beard. this part is going to be dark. All right, so I have an idea. I've been having some ideas. What I can do, what else I can do with the stream, and some things that come to mind are maybe I can read the Bible, make some Bible reading on Sundays, because that's when most people read the Bible is on Sundays. I also am interested in learning some Hebrew, maybe one Hebrew word a day on the stream. Learn the meaning of one Hebrew word a day. I know I already have a handful of Hebrew words, just enough to make me dangerous. Just ideas, just things I might be possibly doing. Let's see what day it is. What special day is today? Today is Tuesday, July 19th, which means it is International Retainer Day. Imagine that. This is the day you either, I don't know if that means get a retainer, the day that you take out your retainer, wear your retainer. I'm not sure. I'm glad I never had to wear a retainer. I wear caps, is what they called them, not braces. They were silver caps placed on the front of my incisors. It's probably an old thing that they don't do anymore. I haven't seen anybody with caps ever since mine were taken off as a child. Let's use this tool. Apparently, it's also International Stick Out Your Tongue Day. There, I have celebrated International Stick Out Your Tongue Day. Somebody actually write legislation for that to get people to stick their tongue out? All right. Something has just come up. I need to use the little men's room, so I'm going to put a video on. And I will be back
Section
momentarily.
4 of the World English Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Winfred Hinson. www.lifebylistening.org. The World English Bible. Genesis, chapters 36 through 46. Chapter 37. Joseph's Dreams. Jacob lived in the land of his father's travels, in the land of Canaan. This is the history of the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers. He was a boy with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, his father's wives. Joseph brought an evil report of them to their father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age. And he made him a coat of many colors. His brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, and they hated him, and couldn't speak peaceably to him. Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him all the more. He said to them, "Please hear this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and behold, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaves came around, and bowed down to my sheaf." His brothers said to him, "Will you indeed reign over us? Or will you indeed have dominion over us?" They hated him all the more for his dreams and for his words. He dreamed yet another dream, and told it to his brothers, and said, "Behold, I have dreamed yet another dream. And behold, the sun and the moon and 11 stars bowed down to me." He told it to his father and to his brothers. His father rebuked him and said to him, "What is this dream that you have dreamed? Will I and your mother and your brothers indeed come to bow ourselves down to you to the earth?" His brothers envied him, but his father kept this saying in mind. Joseph sold by his brothers. His brothers went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. Israel said to Joseph, "Aren't your brothers feeding the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send you to them." He said to him, "Here I am." He said to him, "Go now, see whether it is well with your brothers, and well with the flock, and bring me word again." So he sent him out of the valley of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. A certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. The man asked him, "What are you looking for?" He said, "I am looking for my brothers. Tell me, please, where they are feeding the flock." The man said, "They have left here, for I heard them say, 'Let us go to Dothan.'" Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. They saw him afar off, and before he came near to them, they conspired against him to kill him. They said one to another, "Behold, this dreamer comes. Come now, therefore, and let's kill him, and cast him into one of the pits, and we will say, an evil animal has devoured him. We will see what will become of his dreams." Reuben heard it, and delivered him out of their hand, and said, "Let's not take his life." Reuben said to them, "Shed no blood. Throw him into this pit that is in the wilderness, but lay no hand on him, that he might deliver him out of their hand, to restore him to his father." It happened, when Joseph came to his brothers, that they stripped Joseph of his coat, the coat of many colors that was on him, and they took him and threw him into the pit. The pit was empty, there was no water in it. They sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and saw a caravan of Ishmaelites was coming from Gilead, with their camels bearing spices, and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. Judah said to his brothers, "What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, and let's sell him to the Ishmaelites, and not let our hand be on him, for he is our brother, our flesh." His brothers listened to him. Midianites who were merchants passed by, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. They brought Joseph into Egypt. Reuben returned to the pit, and saw that Joseph wasn't in the pit, and he tore his clothes. He returned to his brothers and said, "The child is no more, and where will I go?" Jacob mourns Joseph. They took Joseph's coat and killed a male goat and dipped the coat in the blood. They took the coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father and said, "We have found this. Examine it now, whether it is your son's coat or not." He recognized it and said, "It is my son's coat. An evil animal has devoured him. Joseph is without doubt torn in pieces." Jacob tore his clothes and put sackcloth on his waist, and mourned for his son many days. All his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. He said, "For I will go down to Sheol to my son, mourning." His father wept for him. The Midianites sold him into Egypt to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's, the captain of the guard.
J. Duran is art. J. Duran art is here, rather. Yes, I do draw fast. Only when I'm showing a video do I draw fast. How are things with you? How's it been? You too can draw that fast if you just take a video. That video was so fast, it was done before I got here. Oh, let's do a shout out for J. Duran Art. Busy in Minnesota at a conference. Let's do a shout out. Can't type. Typing is hard. Words are hard. There you go. JD is also a Christian comic artist. He's drawing a book based on the life of Paul, or Paul in Acts 9, rather. Just one chapter in Acts. Set in a galaxy far, far away. It could be any galaxy far, far away. Aren't all the galaxies far, far away? Thank you, Nightbot. Let's see what is special about today. Not only is it National Retainer Day, International Retainer Day, it is Daiquiri Day. I have not celebrated Daiquiri Day. There's still time left to celebrate Daiquiri Day. In the East Coast, at least. Apparently that's a 21 and over holiday. I think that is too big. Too big. Let's make this smaller. Nope, don't want to go with smaller than 7. Let's use a brush instead. No, it is not ice cream. It is an alcoholic beverage. I don't remember ever having a daiquiri. But I know that it is not for my kids. Let's see. Do I still have... Nope. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, it is. Here's Star Wars The Dark Hunter. For anyone who's interested in checking out Jade Duran Art's work, this is available on Webtoons. The title is called Star Wars, The Dark Hunter, A Tale of the Old Republic. The Sith Empire has come to the galaxy again, and domination is their goal. But on their home planet, Dromund Kaas something. Oops. Oh well. Summary. Dromund Kaas events have changed the ebb and flow of power in the Force. Everything is going according to plan until the Order of the Dark Hunters mess with the wrong Jedi. Make Star Wars great again. You forgot I was a digital artist. Nightbot says it is time for me to rack my brain to remember what I learned this week from the podcast I listened to. Let's see. I think the most notable thing. So those of you who already know Leviticus 19, and you know the term scapegoat, that is from Leviticus 19. What Dr. Mackey says from the Bible Project is that the translation for scapegoat, if you look at the ESV, says Azazel, and Azazel, if you break it down, let's go here. Let's change to the ESV. And let's go to Leviticus 19. And is it 19 or is it something else? Okay, apparently I have the chapter incorrect, but let's look up scapegoat. "16, that's the chapter. Too many tabs. Too many tabs. Oh, I was here. That's where I was. It's on the Day of Atonement. Here we go. He who lets the goat go to Azazel shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and afterwards he may come into the camp. So let's go to the beginning of the paragraph there. So Aaron shall come into the tent of meeting and take off the linen garments that he put on when he went into the holy place, and shall leave them there. And he shall bathe his body in water in a holy place, and put on his garments, and come out and offer his burnt offering and the burnt offering of the people, and make atonement for himself and for the people. So that's his offering that he's making atonement for him, and then the people as well. And the fat of the sin offering he shall burn on the altar. And he who lets the goat go to Azazel shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and afterward he may come into the camp. I think there's probably something up here as well. Date of Atonement, the beginning of the Day of Atonement. So let's see if we can find in page Azazel. 3. There's 5 instances. So verse 6. Aaron shall offer the bull as a sin offering for himself and make atonement for himself and for his house. Then shall take the 2 goats and set them before the Lord at the entrance of the tent of meeting. And Aaron shall cast lots over the 2 goats, 1 lot for the Lord and the other lot for Azazel. And Aaron shall present the goat on which the lot fell for the Lord and use it as a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot fell for Azazel shall be presented alive before the Lord to make atonement over it, that it may be sent away into the wilderness to Azazel. So what does Azazel mean? You may wonder. That's a very good question. Let's ask Google. Interesting. So, as you can tell from these photos, these drawings, artist depictions, Azazel is possibly another name for Satan, Lucifer. So, they're putting all their sin, all the sin of the camp, onto this goat and saying, here, take all of your sins and send them to Azazel. Let him deal with all your sin, because we're going to send it out of the camp and give a unholy offering to an unholy opposer of God. So I think it's an very interesting translation, a very interesting possibility of what it could mean. Please, as always, be a Berean, do your own homework, look up what I say, see for yourselves whether or not it is true. Let's see, what does the rest of the chapter say? Let's go back. Yeah, I've already read this part, so feel free to read it again. Day of Atonement, Leviticus 16. If you're interested. I thought I made a command for Bible Project. There it is. That's the link to the podcast for Bible Project. And this concludes what Bill has been reading and listening to recently on his podcasts. Back to our normally scheduled program. Oh, I don't want it to be there. I want it to be here. I just got a bunch of, I don't know what happened. Not feeling well. Maybe it's gas. Okay, feeling a little better. So for now, looks like we're going to be streaming Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are going to be at 9 o'clock. Because we have to wake up earlier. In our household. I will be right back. This might end up being a shorter stream than I expected. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to say this, but I think I have to lie down. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Have a good night.